No matter what this person has led you to believe, they know that you weren't asking them for too much. All you were ever asking of them is to meet you halfway. All you were trying to let them see is that you couldn't carry the connection alone, that you never needed perfection from them, all you ever needed was reciprocity. And I feel that you made it pretty clear that if both of you can just show up honestly, that it could work. But with Chaser coming out here, there's something here about this person having made you feel unwanted on some level. And there could have been a point where you were blaming yourself, feeling or assuming that you had done something wrong. And I don't see that this was a painless situation for you, not at all. Even for you, this connection became pretty confusing. But ultimately, on a more spiritual level, I feel that if this person pushed you away, it was to push you back into self-love. And I am feeling that this person definitely did push you away, especially when they noticed themselves catching more feelings, things getting deeper. And I feel that you were sent into their life to help them break this avoidant pattern. But at the time, I don't think that they were actually ready to break that pattern. Breaking away from that cold turkey was just way too uncomfortable and unfamiliar for them. But I do feel like your arrival was meant to stir things up in this person. But I feel that for the longest time, this person didn't give themselves the chance to process what had actually happened between you two. And I feel like this mostly had to do with them juggling multiple responsibilities. They feel like they needed time and space to deal with everything. They felt like they had too much on their plate. And because they never really gave themselves the chance to process and reflect on what they were feeling, they stayed in the energy of confusion for a long time. And that contributed to them being unable to make a decision regarding you. But regardless of what happens between you two, I do feel like this connection needed to happen. It was kind of something that was inevitable. It was always going to happen regardless of the outcome. And there's something here about a past life karmic link. Perhaps there was a past life where you and this person were lovers, and that could explain that strong feeling of familiarity when you were around them. It could explain the instant connection and the deep emotions and why you may have had trouble letting this go. But honestly, and this is not to make you feel delulu or anything like that, but if this is really your reading, I do feel like this person is more afraid of losing you permanently than they actually show. They really don't like the idea of never seeing you or speaking with you again, but they also know that it's not such a good idea for them to try to make a comeback if they're still going to meet you with these avoidant patterns. Because honestly, a stable and healthy relationship where there's open and honest communication is not going to be able to be built with that kind of energy around. Or at the very least, without a willingness to overcome it. But I do feel like this person has a lot of things unsaid, left on their heart, so I would like to look into that a little bit. And then I will pull some tarot cards. So, I'm hearing young and inexperienced. So for some of you, things might have not worked out the way you wanted them to because you and this person were too young. For others of you, I'm just hearing a lack of experience. A lack of experience with knowing what it means to truly open one's heart, knowing what it means to truly be vulnerable, to truly be seen by another person. Or it could even explain a lack of experience with healthy love and what that actually feels like, what that actually looks like. But despite all of this, your guides are coming through to let you know how proud they are of you. Because even though you have had to feel this pain in this connection, you haven't allowed it to completely steal your joy. I see you still finding time to laugh and spend time with those that you love and doing things that you love, prioritizing enjoying your life and not allowing this situation to consume you. Your guides are very proud of you for that because there could have been a moment in your life where love and relationships were something that would consume you and it would be to your detriment. It could be that at a certain point in time, you would abandon yourself for the sake of connecting with someone, or you would dim your light, your joy, for the sake of connecting with someone. Let's see what else wants to come. But here we have second chance. This relationship deserves a second chance. And, being that this is a collective reading, only you will know if this connection truly deserves a second chance. And the way that you'll be able to determine that is by observing not only their words, but more than anything, their actions. Are they moving with integrity? Are they honest? And here we have marriage. I feel that a lot of you at one point pictured this with this person. And on this card, it says this relationship is moving toward a sacred union. But the thing is that there exists the spiritual marriage and there exists the physical marriage. And again, being that this is a collective reading, for some of you, it's going to be both. And for others of you, it's going to be one or the other. It's either going to be a sacred union within yourself, being able to marry your internal divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And for others of you, there is a possibility of a physical union. But as long as you have attachment to a specific outcome without allowing things to be what they want to be naturally, you're going to continue to feel a lot of resistance. You're going to feel like this situation, this connection is a punishment when it's everything but that. I feel that this person hasn't been able to stop thinking about you, but it did want to come out in the reverse position. And this tells me that you may have been trying to stop thinking about this person, or you've noticed your thoughts not drifting towards them as often as they once did. Especially if you haven't seen a lot of movement from their part, or you haven't heard much from them, or if you felt like you just keep going in circles with them. Now I want to see what the tarot cards have to say. So with the Page of Swords here, this person has definitely had their mind on you. That explains this I can't stop thinking about you energy. This literally represents this person wanting to communicate with you, but not finding the courage within themselves to do so. This is like someone thinking about you, admiring you from afar, maybe even doing some social media investigating. But this is someone who presently wants to keep their energy hidden because they're not ready to come forward and speak their truth. And I mean, even on the image of this card, you can see the energy so clearly. It's giving me this feeling like, if I approach, am I going to regret it? It's this energy of, what am I getting myself into? I'm curious, but I'm not eager to move. And here we have the Knight of Swords. And it's interesting because we just had the Page of Swords come out. And so being that this person is going from the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords does tell me that mentally they are trying to take charge of this situation. They are trying to figure out what they're going to say. And honestly, this feels like a plan of, I am going to say it. I know I have to sooner than later. I just don't know when exactly. They don't want to say the wrong thing. Air sign energy is significant. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So that could be for you or this other person, for the sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And here we have the moon. But this represents the anxiety and the fear and the doubt behind whatever it is that they need to communicate with you. And because there's this energy attached to whatever it is that they need to say, that's why they've kept it in the dark for so long. Pisces energy could be significant as well. And then we have the Three of Wands. And it's interesting because this card also has the moon, and we just had the moon that came out, but they're in different phases. And so I'm seeing that they're likely to take charge of whatever it is that they need to communicate during a time where they have more clarity, during a time where they're actually ready to leave their old habits and old life behind. Because this card represents manifesting a different outcome, it represents leveling up, it represents big developments in work, in love, in life. And then we have the Fool. So it's literally this energy of night and day. I feel that if this is your reading and this person does approach you with the truth, it's going to feel like that. It's going to feel like this was an overnight change, but it's not. It's definitely taken effort for this person to get to this point, to see themselves as someone who can take a leap of faith, to see themselves as someone who is deserving of a fresh start in love, even if they don't know what they're getting themselves into. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. I hope that it found who it needed to. I know that it did. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, a one-on-one or an attachment style reading, I invite you to check out my description below so that you can head directly to my website if you want a personal reading. Other than that, I will see you all in the next video.